All right, my friends. Hello. Hope you're having a beautiful start to your weekend. My name is Aaron. I'll be talking about some astrology today. Talking about a lot of stuff. This isn't the normal intro to my daily videos that you might be used to. We've got the moon in Pisces yesterday, Friday, the 12th, today, the 13th. Later today, around 5 p.m., the moon is going to create a conjunction with Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is the abyss. We got a lot of water energy, my friends. Neptune is the abyss, the nothingness, the oneness, connected with everything. Capricorn here would be our physical world, our physical bodies, and all of the impressions, right, implanted onto us as the non-physical enters the physical world. This is part of the beauty of astrology, is where all of these planets line up in your particular chart is your cosmic DNA. And while we all have a physical DNA and a cosmic DNA, the planets are the attributes, our personality, and these giant gears and wheels that are moving, that are a reflection of human life here on planet Earth. And we have a lot of this water energy. We have Mars, our planet of action. Mercury, our mind, our communication. When we make up our mind about something, this enables the action. When we say yes to something, when we said, yes, I want to move in this direction. Now we have the Sun, Mercury, and Mars all closely together here in the sign of Scorpio, which deals with our deeper power, struggles, our goals as far as the invisible, right? The non-physical. This is our ambitions. What are your ambitions? What are you striving for? And where is this connecting with the nothingness, the void? Where do we get lost? Where do we try to control the physical world emotionally? Now, I'll share with you some personal details here. So as it came to be yesterday, is the sun, our ego, had created a trine to Neptune. I find myself in a bufo ceremony. If you're not familiar with what bufo is, little toad venom. It's something I've never experienced before, where you smoke this venom of a toad and you're no longer in the physical. This is a very serious out-of-body experience. And it's one where consciousness isn't really involved. So I smoked this toad venom yesterday, and before I could really exhale, there was no more me. There was no more Aaron. My physical body, my consciousness was one with the cosmos, one with all of life and all that is. It is one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had in my life. Connected with everything. Death. Scorpio and Pisces both deal with death. So does Capricorn. And we've got a lot of energy in those three signs. Scorpio deals with death, right? The death of the sun, the fall of the sun. This is our physical bodies and time, chronos, father time. There's a certain amount of time that we have, finite, time on this physical planet before we merge back into the oneness, this everything. And this everything I got to experience as a simple glimpse, of. And during this glimpse, it certainly taught me about astrology, taught me about medicines, plants on this planet. Not getting stuck. Normally I will come on here and say, all right, my friends, whatever my intro normally is. It's so trying to escape me purposefully right now, be saying, don't get stuck in these ruts. And oftentimes what to show me, because Pisces is the end of the zodiac, but it's like the beginning. It's the end, it's the beginning. The universe is an infinite sphere where the center is everywhere and the circumference is nowhere. The universe is an infinite sphere where the center is everywhere and the circumference is nowhere. That's hard to grasp. It makes no sense. Okay? But we strive so often in our human lives for control. And we find ourselves when we are dealing with an injury, whether it's physical or emotional. If we've injured our right side, our left side, those muscles are going to react and respond differently to counterbalance. If we have an emotional injury, we carry our ego differently. Now, yesterday I got to experience an ego death, one of many, many, many I've had in my life. I work a lot with these different plants. I've never worked with this bufo toad before. I work with ayahuasca a lot. And that was something that was given to me, told me when I was in Peru, to be more verbal with you about my experiences with these plants, working with these connections of leaving this body and entering this beautiful space of oneness. And we get so stuck on the routine that this is what's expected of me when I show up and I hit record on this. We get so focused on the outcome of something. Got a little hair right there. The outcome, the result. You know, it's like, well, the end of last final touch on the canvas, the last note of the song, the final button, the final cutting of the cord, of human life, or of, to open up our store, or the smashing the bottle of champagne on the side of the boat. It is finished. It is, but it's not just those moments of ending that are the beauty. It's not just that moment of completion. If that was the point of life, the completion of something, life wouldn't cease to exist because we'd already be at the end. What is the point of this moment to just breathe? And it's something we find, I find, when talking about meditation. It's like we'll put on the TV to disconnect at the end of the night. We'll have a glass of wine or a nightcap or something. And everybody has different ways of disconnecting from reality. And that's what part of Pisces is. In the moon, our emotional needs conjunct Neptune. There's I've talked about this before, the paradox of every sign and of a planet in a sign. Now we have Neptune home in Pisces. This is half the result of the opioid epidemic, escapism. On the other side, the positives, where we're using opiates, drugs to pull ourselves out of reality, to not deal with it. Where when I did this yesterday, this is to help me get a better understanding of my physical life here on planet Earth, to be a better service, a better human being, a better astrologer, a better man, son, brother, whatever it can be. And then that's the point of this other half of this Neptune in Pisces, the rise of the shaman, using these plants, using natural remedies to pull us out of our funk, to pull us out of our routine, to pull us out of this everyday, this is how life is. and there's so much beauty in taking a different way to work just because, if we want to. So we have this opportunity of endings today. We don't have to be the same person that we were yesterday. We don't have to look at the world the same as we did. We don't have to be stuck in that rut and say, this is what other people see of me, and this is what's expected of me, and I have to show up and do this. It's like, no, that's a performance. That's an act. And this world needs authenticity. Another side that we have going on here with this escaping is this stuff right here going on. And we're going to see this continue to rise. Jupiter here is going to be leaving in December out of Aquarius and going to be entering the sign of Pisces as well. We're going to have 2 planets of expansion in the abyss. 2 planets of expansion in this void of nothingness, in this oneness, this all that is. This will be an interesting challenging time in 2022. We have all of this technology, this abundance of technology, and these new laws and yeses of technology. Confirmations Saturn is bringing in here. We get to do this. We get to experience astrology. If I were to do this in my hometown and say, okay, every day at 4 o'clock, if I had the time, every day at 4 o'clock, I'm going to do an astrology thing at the local cafe. We couldn't reach as many people as we do with this through technology. So there's a hand where technology can help us out, where technology puts us in contact, in a weird way, with other human beings. Then we can use technology like our social media, we can use video games to escape reality. Because I don't want to deal with the chores. I don't want to deal with the mess of, I have a bunch of paint supplies over here. I got a bunch of paints I got to clean up right now. This is a gift. I get to clean up a bunch of paint. I get to be a creative. I am allowed to do whatever I want in this playground of life. A human being, with the moment we open our eyes, we can do anything we want. And then we get stuck in, okay, well, this is my job. This is my routine. This is what's expected of me. And for a moment, if we sit with ourselves, maybe only today, if we can sit with ourselves, to not have on music, to not have on a television, to sit with ourselves, to meditate, to go within, to ignore the physical body, to ignore the outside physical world, to ignore the social and political agendas of whatever is happening around us that are affecting our emotions, and coming back to self. The beauty that is to be able to breathe this breath. What a celebration, My friends, we have an opportunity to connect with ourselves internally. To not get hung up on the physical, to not get hung up on what is expected from us from the outside source, to not get hung up and stuck in a routine, to allow ourselves to mold, to bend, to flow like the water does. Flow like the water. All right. One of the endings for me is my chaotic schedule has finally come to a bit of a wrap here. So I am very happy and thankful and excited to share with you that I will be back on a proper routine to deliver these astrological teachings every day at a more appropriate time, because it's been pretty chaotic. I know that. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for dealing with my craziness. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for absorbing and connecting with me, even through technology, to greater our human experience. It is an honor and it is a gift to be human, to connect with human beings. I hope you have a beautiful day connecting with yourself. I love you, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow.